to the Jersey Joe Show. Today, I'm going to reveal my secret recipe for wood duck fingers. These are fresh wood ducks. We got about 3 days ago. They've been marinating with my super secret marination process. I may reveal it down the road, but for right now, we're just going to start off with some pre-marinated wood duck breast here. So what you want to do basically is you want to take your wood duck and you want to drain it from the marination. Now, as you can see, I use a sealed marination packet. That's all part of my secret. These have been tenderized and marinated on 2 different steps. We'll go over that down the road sometime. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to the YouTube page and you'll get that secret recipe. So we're going to start off with putting our wood duck into the bowl here. So what you want to do is you want to take your duck breast now and you want to pat it dry. Look at this breast. These little pockets here are the marination pockets. So as part of my marination process, I tenderize this. And you've got to tenderize it because you want to get the marination deep down into the breast. It's going to be very tough if you don't. Duck is very difficult to cook. If you don't cook duck correctly or overcook it, it's going to taste like rubber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these breasts I got here now, and I'm going to lay them out on this paper towel. Move that out of the way. We'll take some paper towel, and we're just going to pat it dry. Because we're done with this marinade that we have on here now. So what we'll do, get that out of there. Now what you want to do when you're cutting duck fingers, you want to examine the breast just to make sure that you got everything off of it as far as skin and maybe some feathers left over. We'll make sure you get it all off of there. So what we want to do is we want to try to create equal sizes. A little bit of skin there. So your duck fingers, you want to go longwise down the breast, right? So what we want to try and do is create duck fingers that are approximately the same size. We do that because when we cook these, the smaller ones will overcook and the larger ones won't cook enough. When we cook duck breast, and when I show you later, you want to make sure that you cook duck breast to a medium. Some people like it well done, to each his own. I like it medium. So again, we're trying to get the same size here. Looks good. Last one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our breasts and we're going to go ahead and let them rest. They need to rest. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bathe these in some chicken broth. The saltiness of the chicken broth actually helps. So we're going to go ahead and kind of massage them a little bit. Just let them kind of rest there. Now we'll let them rest for about 10 minutes. So now you want to work on your batter. Your batter is the canvas, right? You have to have a good batter recipe. I've been perfecting mine over a few years now, cooking these duck fingers, and I think I've got the very good mixture that includes flour and some spices and a little something extra I'll show you as we're putting this in here. But again, I'm not going to give you the full batter recipe. Check out my cookbook when it comes out and it'll have all you need to know. So what you want to do is take your batter or your dry mix and go ahead and put it in the bowl. And then what I do, everyone knows that I'm Italian. That's why they call me Jersey Joe, the Italian from somewhere in downtown New Jersey, as Phil likes to say. What we're going to do is, this is my secret to the secret recipe. Parmesan cheese, or Romano cheese will work good too. But what you want to do is you want to do a 1-to-1 mixture on your batter with the Parmesan. So we go ahead and we get that in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix it up real good now. You want to get out any lumps. You want to make sure that there are no lumps in your dry mix. And now that we have our dry mix ready, we have our wood duck that's been soaking in its nice little chicken broth bath. We're almost ready to go. You want to get yourself some pure peanut oil. You need to fry in peanut oil. It's good for you, and it tastes pretty good. And it's got a very high scorch rate, so you really don't have to worry about overheating it and having it smoke. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get ready in the next segment to go ahead and start cooking these guys. So now we're going to take our pure peanut oil and go ahead and put it in our vessel. Okay, so I will advise, do not try to fry like this without having a good thermometer. You want to keep your temperature right around 350 degrees. You notice I got this little pin here and I'm set at 350. You can go to 360, 375, but you want to keep it primarily at about 350. That's going to get you where you need to be. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to wait for this sucker to heat up here, and then we're going to get to frying some duck fingers. We're ready to do some frying. Our temperature's up to temp. So what you want to do, once you get that up to temp, you want to bring down to about a medium, because you want to sustain it at 350. Once you put the meat in, it's obviously going to drop in temperature. So what I like to do here is the wet, dry, wet hand, dry hand action. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our duck. We're going to go ahead and just slap it against the side. It's nice and wet. Drop it in the dry hand, kind of push it down in there. What I like to do before I put it in oils, I like to get a couple ready. So we'll go ahead and we'll get a few ready here. We're going to push it in the batter because we're trying to really cover all sides of the duck. All right, a little more. Push it down. So now what we'll do with our dry hand, this hand's always wet. You want to keep it away from the dry batter. Come on over and you want to kind of seesaw it in. See, back, forth, and let it go. Let it go. What you want to do while they're frying is you want to kind of move them around so ever slightly. The key to cooking duck is not to overcook it. As soon as they start to float, they're done. Nice brown here, looking good. We're going to put it in our drain. Let it rest, let it drain. What I do now is the next secret here. Once you get them out, take you some Parmesan, sprinkle it on top while they're still hot and a little oily. That Parmesan will suck right into them. Temperature. You want to constantly adjust your flame. The bigger ones might take a little longer. That's why you want to try and cut all your breast fingers to the same size, because that way they all cook around the same. You want to make sure if you have a larger one, as soon as she floats, then she's ready. And remember, while they're still hot, get your Parmesan on them. And you just keep going till you get done. Like I say, I try to do all around the same size. Push it down in there, get that flour all on there. And like I said, do them all ahead of time for that batch that you're going to cook. Honestly, in a pot this size, I want to limit it at around 5 fingers. I don't want to go any more because I don't want to crowd the pot. Because when you crowd the pot, you're going to rob it from heat, and then you're going to have some undercooked meat, and you don't want that either. Temperature again is important. If it's a little too big, you put on your exhaust fan, put it on for a little bit, and suck that smoke out of there. Move them ever so slightly so they don't stick together. Fixing it out. Perfect. That is the sound of Louisiana happiness. Everything's fried. The best way to do it. This is a treat. You know, I've found that, you know, I make these for people who have had duck before, didn't like it. I've made it for people that say duck tastes horrible. And then I've made it for some that never tried duck before and they couldn't figure out what it was. I can assure you, you follow this process and you marinate your duck correctly, it's going to be the best tasting duck you ever had, and you're not even going to know it's duck. The old time way of cooking duck is done now that Jersey Joe is in the picture. Again, let's go ahead and get some of that Parmesan on there. All right, stay tuned for the next part where we actually make the side dipping sauce to go with this duck. You can make many different types of dipping sauces. You can buy dipping sauces right off the shelf at the supermarket, or you can make your own. What I like to do is doing a nice Italian marinara sauce, as well as a horseradish sauce. Some of the traditional people would like the horseradish sauce a little spicy, so I'm going to show you how to make my version. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a horseradish sauce. This is my little recipe here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some horseradish. You can use cream horseradish or regular straight horseradish. I like to use straight horseradish right out of the jar. Mayonnaise. Dollop of sour cream. Oregano, garlic, Worcestershire. Go ahead and mix that all up. Delicious. Now what you can do is you can take one of your containers here. You can go ahead and put that horseradish right in there. Get that out of the way. Now remember, people eat with their eyes before they eat with their hands. So remember, presentation is key. So we take our red marinara sauce. This is, again, one of my secret recipes. You can use regular marinara right off the shelf. You can even use like a pizza sauce that you can buy in a jar at the store. Again, presentation is key. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll line these up. And there you go. Italian style wood duck fingers, guaranteed to be a crowd pleaser. Delicious.